The film begins with a doctor instructing his assistant, Mr. Kim, to dispose of formaldehyde by pouring it down the drain. Mr. Kim hesitates though, warning that the toxic chemical will flow into the Han River and cause a widespread contamination. Unconcerned about the environmental consequences, the doctor insists, citing that it's an order, so listen. Fearing for his job, Mr. Kim reluctantly complies and begins pouring hundreds of bottles down the drain. Years later, we meet Park Gang-doo and his father, Hee-bong, running a small snack bar by the Han River. Gang-doo's daughter, Hyun-seo, returns from school, and the two of them watch his sister, Nam-ju, on TV. Nam-ju is competing in an archery contest, hoping to win a gold medal. Outside on the riverbank, people gather to look at an unidentified creature hanging from the bridge. While delivering drinks to customers, Gang-doo notices the strange sight as well and joins them. The creature suddenly jumps into the river, and curious onlookers move closer for a better view. Some even start tossing food into the water, but the creature doesn't react. Suddenly, the creature charges towards the crowd, knocking people over and sending one person flying into the water with a swipe of its tail. Panic spreads as everyone frantically tries to escape the massive beast. Chaos ensues as the creature relentlessly chases people, even attacking and devouring a group trapped in a trailer. Gang-doo and a stranger attempt to help by opening an escape route for them, but it proves to be too late. In desperation, they hurl a cement sign at the creature, but it has no effect. Back at the snack bar, Hyun-seo steps outside, only to see the crowd in a frenzy, and Gang-doo quickly grabs her and they start running. In the background, you can see the creatures wreaking havoc, destroying everything in its path. Amidst the chaos, they stumble, and Gang-doo suddenly realizes Hyun-seo is no longer with him. He had accidentally grabbed someone else's hand in the confusion. He turns to see his daughter just as the creature rushes towards her, grabbing her with its tail. In an instant, the beast dives into the river, dragging her away. Gang-doo, paralyzed with shock, can do nothing but watch helplessly as the creature swims off with his daughter. Later that evening, during a mass funeral for the victims, Nam-ju returns from her archery competition carrying a bronze medal she had won for Hyun-seo. Her uncle, Nam-il, arrives and angrily blames Gang-doo for Hyun-seo's death, accusing him of letting his daughter get taken away by the creature after grabbing the wrong girl. What kind of father does that? He says bitterly. Overcome with grief, the family breaks down and they all mourn together. Soon after, the military bursts in and takes control of the area, quarantining those who may have been exposed to the creature. When Gang-doo mentions that some of the creature's blood got on him, he is immediately detained, bagged, and taken away for questioning, as it's believed that the creature is carrying a deadly unknown virus. In the quarantine hospital, Gang-doo is still grieving the loss of his daughter, but all of a sudden, his phone rings. It's Hyun-seo. She frantically tells him that she's trapped in a large sewer somewhere before the connection cuts off. Stunned, Gang-doo is left in disbelief, knowing that his daughter is still alive. The next morning, his family tries to convince the authorities that Hyun-seo is still alive and that they need to search for her. However, the officer dismisses their claims, believing Gang-doo is simply in denial and imagining the phone call as part of his grief over losing his daughter. Soon after, the family is forced to escape from the hospital and begin their own search for Hyun-seo. Meanwhile, the police issue a citywide alert, warning that the infected fugitives have escaped and must be captured to prevent the spread of the virus. The family searches through the sewers, shouting Hyun-seo's name as they move from one area to another. After hours of searching with no success, Nam-il grows frustrated and asks Gang-doo if Hyun-seo mentioned anything besides being in a big sewer, since they've been wandering aimlessly through countless tunnels. Suddenly, they hear movement nearby. Startled, Gang-doo fires a shot towards the ceiling, only to realize the noise was created from water dropping. In the creature's lair, Hyun-seo drinks rainwater to survive. The creature returns, dropping off 2 more bodies to devour later on. After it leaves, Hyun-seo tries to wake them, but only Siju is alive. That evening, the family returns to the snack bar to rest. As Gang-doo looks outside, he spots the monster lurking in the rain. His father grabs a rifle and takes a shot but misses, prompting the creature to charge and topple the snack bar. The creature then climbs on top, but this time a shot hits it, temporarily knocking it out. Gang-doo and his father cautiously climb out to check if the creature is dead or not. Nam-il, frustrated that they didn't finish it off, shouts at them and takes another shot, causing the monster to flee. The family fires frantically, trying to bring it down. The creature retreats to the base of the bridge, swinging around to dodge their attacks. It finally pauses before diving back into the river. Hee-bong urges everyone to get back into the truck as they've run out of bullets, while he stays behind to finish off the creature. He asks if anyone has any remaining ammo. Gangdu responds that he has one shell left and tosses him the shotgun. As everyone starts to head back to the truck, the creature suddenly reappears right behind Hee-bong. He turns and pulls the trigger, only to realize the shotgun is empty. The creature knocks him down and grabs him with his tail, fatally wounding him. As the creature vanishes back in the water, military personnel arrive on the scene. Nam-il and Nam-ju quickly flee to avoid capture, but Gangdu, still shocked over his father's death, remains and is taken into custody. The next morning, Nam-il meets with an old friend who specializes in tracking phone locations. They head to his office and his friend starts searching for Hyunseo's signal on the computer. While working, his friend slips away into another room where the police are waiting. It turns out the government have placed a bounty on the infected family. Nam-il's old friend really isn't his friend at all. He's just trying to collect the reward money. The police burst out of the room surrounding Nam-il. He quickly glances at the computer one last time to memorize the location and turns off the lights in the room to sneak out. With police closing in on him, he jumps off the ledge to escape and sends a text to Namju with Hyunseo's location before passing out. When Namjo sees the text, she rushes to the location armed with a bow and arrow. Upon arriving at the sewer, she calls Gangdu to inform him that she's found Hyunseo's location. Suddenly, the creature charges towards her. She readies her bow, but it knocks her out, sending her tumbling into a hole where the creature cannot get to her. Back at the hospital, Gangdu insists to the staff that he needs to go rescue his daughter, but they ignore him and sedate him instead. The doctor who had instructed Mr. Kim to pour the formaldehyde into the river approaches Gangdu. He claims that the virus has taken hold of Gangdu and that he now has dementia. Believing Gangdu is still under the effects of the anesthesia, the doctor tells his assistant that the virus isn't even real, that it was fabricated to distract the public from the creature's true origins. Gangdu overhears everything. In the creature's lair, Hyunseo and Siju are still alive, hiding in a drain that the creature cannot reach. Hyunseo has fashioned a rope from the clothing of the victims the creature has brought in. She successfully tosses it towards the top, but it is too short for them to grab. When the creature falls asleep, she throws a beer can at it to see if it'll wake up, but it doesn't even stir. Seizing the opportunity, she runs towards the creature, using its body as a ramp to jump onto the rope. However, the monster suddenly grabs her with its tail, only to gently set her back down as it remains asleep. Knowing the creature is starting to wake up, they quickly rush back to the drain. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Gangdu takes a nurse hostage to make his escape. He forces one of the staff members to open the door, revealing that they were only in a trailer, not an actual hospital. Outside, people are casually barbecuing food. What is going on here? Seizing the moment, Gangdu manages to drive away in an ambulance. Upon arriving at the sewer, he discovers a creature's lair, which is littered with bones. He begins to scale down the rope just as the creature passes directly above him, carrying something inside its mouth. Namju eventually regains consciousness and crawls out from her hiding spot. She spots the creature and prepares to fire, but is stopped by Gangdu, who fears Hyunseo might be inside as the monster heads towards a crowd of people. Gangdu chases along a nearby bridge where protesters are demonstrating against the government's plan to release a toxic chemical into the river to eliminate the creature. As the creature approaches the crowd, everyone scatters in fear and a toxic chemical is released onto it. The substance knocks the creature out temporarily, giving Gangdu the chance to open its mouth and pull out his daughter and Siju. He carries his daughter away just as another round of toxic chemicals is unleashed on the creature. Namju and Nam-il arrive to check on Hyunseo, but they realize the outcome. Overcome with rage at the thought of losing his daughter, Gangdu rushes to finish off the creature, but gets knocked out instead. Nam-il throws his Molotov cocktails at the creature, but he misses entirely. Just then, a homeless man pours gasoline on the creature, giving Nam-il a moment to throw his last Molotov. However, as he tosses it, the bottle shatters before it can reach its target, seemingly sealing their chances to finish it off. Out of nowhere, Namju stabs a Molotov, one of her arrows setting it ablaze. Then she shoots it, igniting the creature in flames. In pain, the creature rushes towards the water for safety, but Gangdu cuts it off before he can make it, stabbing the creature right in the mouth, this time eliminating it for good. The film ends with Gangdu adopting Siju and inheriting his late father's snack bar.